Hello, welcome to my live. Hello, welcome to my live. Okay, today I'm going to talk to you about hair growth. Okay, if you have any questions about hair growth, in fact, any questions at all, but we'll focus on hair growth initially. You can ask me. Okay, I'm going to do my best to help you, but I'm going to explain to you why. If you look around today, you see a lot of people are losing their hair. Okay, and they're blaming it on genetics, and this is not entirely true. Okay, because in my family, we are two other boys. One is older, one is younger than me. They're both losing their hair, and they do not follow the diet I use or the lifestyle I use, which would explain why I have thicker, healthier hair. We have the same genes, okay, same family, but the way we eat is different. So the difference in the hair shows, okay. So what causes hair loss? Let's start with that. What causes any hair issue? Gray hair, dandruff, doesn't matter what it is. It's acidosis. Okay, your body has become highly acidic, and this acidosis will express itself in the weakest place or the weakest link. Okay, which means that for most people, some people who their weakness is in their head region or scalp, they have genetic weakness for hair loss. This acidosis will express itself there. That's why you will see some people will have really bad diets, have great hair. Some people will have good diets. Okay, and you see the hair is healthy at the same time. So genetically speaking, you express acids in the weakest location, okay? So it could be your hair, it could be your skin, it could be your liver, it could be your kidneys, it could be whatever it is, okay? So when you see people losing hair at an accelerated rate, it means they have a genetic weakness towards losing hair. It doesn't mean that it's not reversible. It just simply means that they have to fix the diet and they have to use herbs for the scalp region or hair region, okay? This is what essentially what it means, and this is what I did. Before I went on this path of eating fruits and veggies, my hair was thinning right here. Okay, and my wife who cuts my hair was saying, you're thin on top, and then it kind of put me out of loop. I was concerned. It so happened though that I changed the diet after that, and after that my hair started growing nice and thick. You see, very very thick and nice. So there's a direct correlation between the diet. Had I not eaten correctly or changed my diet, I wouldn't have this today because my brothers are losing their hair, have lost their hair as well. Okay, so how do you fix it? If you have hair issues, the first thing you gotta do is change the diet. That's it. You gotta go on a raw vegan diet to change the body from an acidic state to an alkaline state. And then you need to use herbs. Herbs are crucial. Okay? When you have herbs like cayenne pepper, like ginger, like gotu-kola, these are herbs that boost blood flow to the scalp region, okay, in the head region. In fact, to the head region, so you have better eyesight. You have everything to do with the head, endocrine glands will be taken care of. So these herbs are essential to use, but you cannot use the herbs and stick with a regular diet. It doesn't really make that much of a difference because you need the herbs to clean and strengthen the cells. In this case, the cells of the hair, or the scalp region, okay? So we use herbs to clean and strengthen the cells, but you have to keep the diet alkaline. This means going on a high fruit, raw vegan diet. This is how you change things, okay? So if someone came to me and they had a hair loss issue, I was changing the diet first to 100% fruit diet, and I use herbs for the kidneys, the adrenals, the lymph system, stomach, and bowels. Then I would add herbs for the scalp. Okay, I wouldn't just give them. I wouldn't just give them herbs for the scalp without fixing the kidneys, because remember that the kidneys and the lymph system is what makes the body alkaline. It keeps it alkaline, right? Because it filters out the metabolic waste. If the kidneys and lymph system are not working properly, the acids will back up. Okay, you start backing up and you hit the head region and start burning follicles. This is how it works. You want it to grow, you move the acids from the head region. That's it. Okay, you cleanse it, it will grow. You have to fix the kidneys though. You got to fix the adrenals. You got to fix the lymph system, and very importantly, you got to fix the bowels, because the head sits on the GI tract, and if it's clogged, you can't drain the acids out. Okay, the acids will affect the hair and the head region. Okay, forget the hair. More important are the endocrine glands, the eyes, the ears. If these things get compromised, there's a big problem. Okay, so hair is an indication almost of your health. Okay, very very important to understand that. Okay, so you would use kidney tea, clean the kidneys. Very important. Use herbs like these. Okay, this is for like I said, circulation herbs. But once you clean the whole body, do not use these herbs unless you are changing the diet, unless you're cleansing the whole body, including the gut. Very very important. It's crucial you understand this. See, this is not a treatment. This is systemic. You're trying to fix the whole body, and the after effects, the benefits of the hair growth comes with it. Okay, very very important. So now we have done this, I'm going to take any questions you might have on hair. And if you have no question on the hair or hair growth, and you want to talk about anything else, anything in particular, then you can feel free and ask me a question. I'll answer them for you right now. Okay? So feel free, ask any question about hair growth, hair loss. Okay? Okay, so this is not hair loss. So someone says they are getting hungry on a fruit diet. Okay, well, two things wrong will happen when you do this, when you go on a fruit cleanse. Number one, remember that the fruits expose your weaknesses. It's cleansing the whole body. So before you're eating protein and starches, and this kind of food is obstructive. So what I mean that you consume it and it just kind of gets stuck in there. Okay, some is digested, some isn't, and the ones that's not digested sits there and ferments. It breeds bacteria, breeds worms. Most people walking out today have a lot of worms in them. Okay, you'll be shocked about how much worms the average person has in their system, worms and bacteria. So when you're cleansing out, you're going to be exposing these worms, etc. They're going to be hungry. They're hungrier. They start eating the foods that they don't, not getting the foods they want. Okay, so it's a little bit like starving a child. You're not giving the foods they want. They're going to cry a bit for the food, right? So you want to cleanse the whole body. You want to use herbs for worms when you're hungry. If you're getting hungry all the time, you need a lot of herbs to fight the worms. Okay, so you need herbs not only for bacteria and fungus, but you need herbs for big worms, because these things live inside us, and they've built a nice home in there. So when you take the herbs and they start coming out, your hunger will go down. Number two, if you're really hungry, eat small, frequent meals to keep the blood sugar stable, and you feel better. And as you start losing the weight, and as the glands get back in order, you feel fantastic. Also, work on your adrenals, because your adrenals affects sugar metabolism as well. Okay. So next question: can you show the kidney? Okay, the kidney health. I'll show it to you right now. Yeah. So it's called kidney tea. Okay, right here. Okay, and it has literally, as you know, I'm a herbalist, so I put the best of the best herbs in there. Okay, this tea is, I mean, there's nothing like it out there. I'm proud to say. Okay, very, very powerful. You go on herbs and fruits and use the kidney tea, you feel great. Okay, next question. You guys have any more questions? Feel free and ask. I'm here to help you. Okay. So as I mentioned, so if you're cleansing the body, always focus on the kidneys. Always focus on the lymphatic system. It's very, very, very important. Okay. The lymphatic system is your main immune system of the body. Understand this again. If it's not cleaned, well, you're gonna have a problem. Think of it like a sewer system of the city. The city in this case is your body. If the sewer system is not working properly, you have breakages. It can never get better. Things are gonna rot. Things are gonna get different, you know, and change for the worse. So always focus on the kidneys. Always focus on the lymphatic system. Always focus on the bowels. Okay, very, very important. Okay. So if you have any questions here. Okay. Guys, feel free to ask questions. I'm new to this, but I'm trying my best to help you. And be honest with you, this is new to me. So, okay, it doesn't seem we have so many questions. So, I will just I can keep it short. But if you do have any question before I check out, do ask. I will answer it. Okay. Can you can purchase these herbs. Okay. I'll send you a link. But basically, it's miraherbals.info. And it has all the herbs you need in there, okay? Everything that I suggest, I've tried it myself, I've tested it myself, and it's really powerful stuff. Okay, the next question, blood pressure, is a way to get rid of this. Okay, blood pressure has everything to do with the kidneys and adrenals. See, when you look at the blood pressure number, the top part is the adrenals, and the bottom part is the kidneys. And the truth of the matter is, you cannot have high blood pressure without having low blood pressure, because it's interconnected. Most people don't tell you this, and also, both the sides of your body are different. So if you measure your blood pressure on the right, it's different than on the left. It's because the kidneys are, you have a kidney on the left and a kidney on the right, and the adrenal on the left and the adrenal on the right. So it changes, and it changes by the minute. So to get a really good, accurate reading of your blood pressure, you should check it and write it down for maybe 12, 15 times in a day. You cannot take your blood pressure and say, my blood pressure is high right now. Well, it might be high because maybe you took a walk, or maybe you're stressed, maybe you're under pressure. Like when you go to, sometimes you go to the doctor's office and they're about to test you, you're stressed out. And then you take the test and your blood pressure is off the roof, okay? Because, you know, they always give you bad news anyway, so, you don't want to be in the first place, so you're stressed out. So this stress is going to, it's going to affect your blood pressure. But the way to get rid of blood pressure is to fix your kidneys and adrenals, okay? Now, use herbs for the kidneys, use herbs for the adrenals, and cleanse the whole body. Use 100% fruit diet. If you do that, you see in a few weeks your blood pressure is normalizing. Okay, but it depends on the kidney filtration. Some people don't have any kidney filtration. The moment you have kidney filtration, the blood pressure will normalize. Very, very simple to deal with. Okay, of course, stay on your meds as you do this because the doctors give you medication for a reason. You can't just get off it. You have to ask them permission because they know what they're doing with the medications. I don't with meds. So type 1 diabetes. Someone asked about type 1 diabetes. Diabetes, again, you see, a lot of people have this confused. This is inflammation. Inflammation or acidosis that causes stress on the, in this case, adrenals and pancreas. But most people don't understand or know this, but most type 1, at least in the early stages, is called a neurological type 1. This means that it's the adrenals that's the problem, not the pancreas. So if the adrenals are not working properly, they produce neurotransmitters that control autonomic nerve movements, or they also control the nervous system. And it gives a command to the pancreas to produce insulin. Now, if the adrenals are compromised and your nervous system is compromised, your pancreas will be compromised, and therefore you will not be producing insulin. Okay, so very often it's always an adrenal issue. It's always a kidney issue by default, because remember, if the kidneys are not filtering, that waste, that mucus is what will affect the glands. So it's always kidneys, lymphatic, and adrenals. But I would use low glycemic fruits, and like cherries, like blueberries, low apples. Or experiment. There are about 10 very low glycemic fruits. Experiment and find the one that you want. But you would have to go on a raw vegan diet if you want to fix those glands, because there's no other way you're going to move the mucus. There's no other way you're going to cleanse the body, And so I would go on a low glycemic fruit diet. And bear in mind that when you go on fruits and you go on 100% fruit diet, eventually your blood sugar is going to drop, and it will take you by surprise. So always keep watching your sugar levels and monitoring. You have to monitor it very closely, because it will bounce all over and then drop. And when it drops and then stabilizes, you should be prepared when it drops. Okay. So let me see any other questions. Let me see. I don't see any. I have a few people. Okay, this doesn't seem I have any more questions. So guys, if you have any questions, I'm right here. I would love to answer the questions for you. Okay. Let me see. Blood pressure taken care of. Okay. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to try and do this more often. Okay. I know people like one-on-one interaction. When I'm speaking only to you watching this, and it's nothing makes me happier to help you as an individual. So if this is a great way of reaching out to you and getting in contact. And if you ever have any questions, you can always write to me. I will, yeah, sure. If you have one, please ask. So someone says they got a question. So let's see what they're asking. Okay, someone says vegan, at least what's the best source of protein? Guys, I'm sorry to tell you this, but protein, like, I'm the only one. I think me and a few others, I don't even know their names, are saying the truth to you about protein, okay? The whole entire dietitians, everybody, experts, bodybuilders, everything are promoting protein, but it's really bad for you, okay? Like, you don't have to make any extra attempts to eat protein. It's in the fruits and the veggies. Any extra attempts to have protein is damaging your kidneys. It's a fact. There's ample studies out there done on protein, and there are also ample studies that will prove that it's bad, and some prove that it's right, it's good. But remember that the problem with studies is that you can skew it to the side you want, right? So anyone who's meat industry is sponsoring a protein study, is not the results are going to be towards eating protein because they're making money from it. I'm not making money from telling you the truth about protein. And people get angry about this topic. They really, really get angry at protein because it's what they've been taught. Have your protein, have your protein, have your protein. There's no actual protein deficiency. It's next to impossible. Even the people in Africa who are starving are not protein deficient. They're calorie deficient, but not protein. But protein is a complex macronutrient. Okay, and when you break it down, it leaves an acid hit on the body. So we don't make any extra attempts to have protein in our diet. You get all the amino acids you need and the simple proteins in the fruits and veggies. Don't make extra attempt to have protein. Okay, very, very bad for you. I couldn't tell you. This is what I would tell my brother and sister. Avoid the protein. Very bad. Okay. What have I eaten today? Funny, see, I had breakfast, I had a juice, and then this is my lunch, but I didn't even eat it. But I'll show you. This is my lunch. Was my lunch, and this is for 2 people actually. Okay, so it's for my wife and I, and we haven't eaten. That's because you usually don't get hungry, but when you do get hungry, we have fruits beside us, and we'll eat it. Okay, and this comes with practice. FYI, I mean, I don't get hungry to want to eat something. If I'm hungry, I'll have some fruits. Okay, that's very simple. Can you check my eye? I can check your eye obviously in the live. Okay, but reading eyes is one of my specialties. So absolutely, you can send to me. I can look at it briefly. So if someone says they have vertigo every day, what can I take? Again, this is not a matter of taking something. Okay, vertigo is dizziness, equilibrium. It means the mucus is a compromise the medulla mastoid at the back of the head. Okay, so this personally scares me personally because when you're getting dizzy, it means your whole head is compromised with mucus. That means your endocrine glands, your pituitary gland, everything is here. So if it's affecting your cerebellum and your cerebellum as well as the mastoid and medulla, this is an issue. You need to clean it out. So what do? You switch your diet, 100% fruits. You use herbs for the kidneys, the adrenals, the lymph system, stomach, and bowels. Use herbs also for the bowels. So you have to cleanse the bowels because remember the head sits on the GI tract. It means it's clogged. The bowels are clogged. You gotta unclog the bowels. I would use a circulation tincture. Okay, so I'll use those herbs I mentioned, but I also use circulation tincture. Love is something called neurological one. Neurological one, very very powerful neurological. Okay, this is for the brain and nervous system. Okay, and I'll use that in combination with the kidney herbs, the lymphatic herbs, the bowel herbs, to flush everything out. Okay, take a bit of time, but you gotta relieve the pressure in the head region because it's not good. This is what happens if you leave it, you start getting issues like Parkinson's and all those things in the so-called names they give them. But it leads to serious issues. So please do try and get rid of the mucus in the back of the head. Okay, can you put a list of foods you recommend for breakfast and lunch? Breakfast always after 11. Okay, that's why, because you want the body to finish cleaning. So after 11, preferably 12 or 1 o'clock, you have your fruit juices and nothing but fruit juices for breakfast. You want to cleanse the body. You want to nourish it. You don't want to put starches and protein in your body in the morning. Okay, because you're just coming after. You're just breaking a fast. It's called break fast for a reason. Okay, so when that happens, you go fruits, and then for lunch, just take a couple of apples, oranges, grapes. Have fun. Go to the store and see some exotic fruits you like, and just try it. Okay, let's eat it. It's psychological. Most of it is psychological. You want something in your mouth because we've been trained to be emotional eaters, but this is not where life is. This is not where happiness is. You gotta find your true self, and you gotta eat the right kind of food so you can nourish that true self. Meaning that don't be controlled. Okay, don't be controlled by foods and chemicals in the foods, etc. You want to be in control of your own diet. So cleanse the body out. Once you cleanse the whole body out, you won't have these unnecessary cravings. Okay. Next one. Let me see. Sorry. Carpal tunnel. Okay. Any kind of pain. Any kind of pain you're gonna get is acids. So in your case, it's trapped because you've been using your hands all the time. You get this issue. But the deep cause is again your lymph system is not moving. Your kidneys are not filtering. Therefore, the acids and waste can't leave the body. So it's affecting. This is your weakest link in your case. Okay. Same process. Just gotta clean the whole body. Use her specifically for the entire body, which the kidneys, adrenals, lymph system, stomach, and bowels, and then add herbs for the bones. Work on the parathyroid because that's responsible for calcium utilization and bone and skin. Okay, so it's very important you do that. Okay, next question. Let's see. So, sorry guys. Where do the herbs? I have it on my website. I'll post a link, but it's mirrorherbals.info, and we have a whole health section where you can get all these herbs I mentioned. Okay, as a herbalist, I combine the herbs in a unique and specific way, so that it has a synergistic effect. Okay, on the body. So when you use herbs individually, they're good and fantastic, but when you combine them, they speak to each other. In herbalism we call it affinity, but more accurately it's consciousness. They're conscious and they react differently with each other. The stuff in there. Okay, so he said, is it okay to drink coffee? No. Coffee and protein, the same kind of, is really bad. Okay, why? Because it affects your adrenals, and when you stimulate your adrenals, that's why you get a perk. Is adrenals. When you stimulate the adrenals, when you stop stimulation, it falls down. You're weakening it, so it innervates. So eventually, a time will come where you're dependent on the coffee, and you see that you must have a coffee to either use the washroom or to have this energy. And it's really bad. It's telling you, number one, the reason why you can use the washroom quickly with coffee is because the body hits a fight or flight state. You have literally put poison in your mouth, and the body, in an attempt to push out this poison, will let you run to the washroom. That's why a lot of people use coffee to use the washroom. It's a flight or fight situation. In this case, it's fighting, okay? And when you weaken the adrenals, you weaken the kidneys. So it's a big vicious cycle, okay? So please avoid the coffee. You can use black walnut hull. Okay, it looks like coffee. It's a herb. Okay, even if you use that, you're way better off. And also to cleanse your whole body, it's a lymphatic herb. Okay, so let me see. I think I'm gonna do a few more, and I'll probably end it here. What made you start this journey? Okay, it's a long story, but it's a good question. How I started is I used to be a meat eater, bodybuilder. Okay, that was quite a few years ago. And my wife just told me, let's go to a raw vegan retreat. So I was the kind of person who have meat in every meal. If my wife we cooked meal and there was no protein in there, I would be like not upset. I would say like, where's the protein? Like how everyone else does it. And then one day she says, let's go to a raw vegan retreat. And I said, oh, that's a far cry from where I am. But I love my wife, so I said yes. And we went to the raw vegan retreat. It just took, when I went there, my numbers, pre-diabetic, a lot of aches and pains. Okay, I thought I was growing older, but mind you, I was much younger back then. I felt like my body was off, and I thought it was just an aging process. Okay, but when I hit that raw vegan retreat, the very first week, my whole body was transformed. Okay, everything just got better. I could see better, I could hear better. Everything was better. Joint pains all gone. It was a week and a half to two. After the third week, it was like everything's cleared up, and I was so taken back by it. Like I couldn't believe that we can eat right and get healthy. It doesn't make any sense to me because I came from the bodybuilding field, high protein, lift weights, eat protein, meat kind of thing, and it was killing me. Okay, it was killing me. I remember sitting in front of the doctor, and the doctor of that clinic, and he said to me, "You're pre-diabetic," and I looked at him, and he was like, overweight, and I said to myself, "This man is recommending me, giving me advice." He was a medical doctor, and he's not even healthy himself. Okay, so that raw vegan retreat changed my life. And after that, I decided I want to learn more on this stuff. So I went on I learned every single natural hygienist out there. I studied and learned and applied to myself first. And I was able to heal myself and heal others. My greatest introduction to this was after I learned the fruits and herbs. I took care of my father. My father had a prostate issue, and I applied it to my father. He had 13 years of prostate issues, and he got better in 3 weeks. This is what changed me completely. This is what made me say to myself, I cannot believe it, because 13 years of prostate issues and in 3 weeks of just the fruit diet, he used a lemon oil diet, transformed him completely, okay? Transformed him completely, like it's not like night and day. Solved all his issues. And that hit me. That made me say to myself, I gotta share this with other people. I never really had intention of being on social media. I didn't really care for it. But after I started seeing how I'm helping people, it got almost an addiction. I love the way it feels helping somebody. Somebody uses this stuff I share, and then they come back to me a week or two later and say, oh my God, I feel better. My issues are going. So it's the greatest gift to give another human being, right? So I said to myself, this is unbelievable. Like, I got to share this stuff. So let me one more question before we go. Oh, thank you so much. God bless you too as well. I really appreciate it. You don't understand. Helping another person is the greatest gift you can get or give to someone else, okay? For me, I don't know what to say, but it makes me feel fantastic. And it's a drug, and the best drug you can have, because you feel fantastic helping somebody out. My goodness, I don't know how to explain to you. But my goal is to show you so you can help somebody out as well, okay? I just don't want to be for myself. All my information I share for free. It's on YouTube. I have over 2,500 videos, free. If you come and ask me for advice, I never hide anything. I never say to you, let me give him 10%. I give you 100%. And that's what I do. I'm just one person though, okay? I give you 100%, and it's up to you to use it or not. Believe me or you don't believe me, it's up to you, right? So someone asked a fruit detox for 21 days or less. Say, when it comes to detoxing with fruits, okay, you want to use it and go as far as you can, right? What I mean by that is that It took you decades to bring your body to a state where it is today. Decades, if not, depending on how old you are, right? At least years. And then now you're taking the steps to change. It's going to take a bit of time. The fantastic thing about the fruits and the herbs is that it's quick, like meaning that decades can be a few months, a few months to fix it versus a decade it took to harm it. And it's never too late. It's never ever too late. You can always turn things around. Okay, but the length of time I can't tell you because it depends on your kidneys. It depends on how strict you are. What steps are you taking to fix this thing? So I always recommend people make it a lifestyle. Like, make this a lifestyle so that because it's not only going to transform you physically, like spiritually, mentally speaking, this is going to change you. Okay, because let's be honest. I remember I used to eat meat, right? Yes, we do ship to the UK, FYI. We ship worldwide. I used to eat meat. And I can tell you that the violence in the food, it reflects in you, okay? It reflects on you. It does. So much shape or form. We live in a cause and effect world. If you're going to harm animal, even though you didn't physically harm it, you are kind of responsible because you are demanding it, you're eating it. So always have compassion for things. Don't kill an animal. You have no right to kill an animal, unless, of course, you're in a forest, you're stuck and you're hungry. Different story altogether. But for you to eat animals when there's abundance of fruits and veggies around you is, to my opinion, not to criticize anybody, it's not the right thing to do. Okay, because it's compassion. Would you eat your dog? You wouldn't eat your dog. So why would you want to eat a cow? It has the same soul inside it. You know, it has a soul. So I don't condone eating animals. Okay. Yeah, I do have a YouTube as well. It's under Raw Maraby as well. Raw Maraby. Okay, all my profiles are under Raw Maraby. Vegan, like, there's a difference between veganism and plant-based. I don't consider myself a vegan because I'm not, like, what I mean by that is, like, I don't like following a group. Okay, I'm an individual. I don't like taking sides. I do what's right for me, and I don't criticize other sides, a group. So if you choose to eat meat, that's your own business. You know, everyone has their own choice, but it's not mine. Okay, so what was the cow was best raised? No, you don't. Even if the cow is raised for that purpose, think about it for a second. I want you to go and look at any animal's eye. Any animal, look right in the eye, and you tell me that there's no soul in there, there's no love in there, passion. Okay, yeah, okay. So let's keep the veganism and cow thing because it's a tricky topic. Let me see. I'll find one more question for you. What herbs are good for thinning hair? Herbs, alopecia. Alopecia is an autoimmune issue, but we don't, in natural healing, we don't say autoimmune. Basically, the immune system, the lymph system is not working properly. Kidneys are not filtering properly. So this one, the body will start attacking itself. If you want to stop it, just reverse the process. Eat the foods that will stop the blockage, and stop eating the foods causing the blockage. Use the animal products, cooked starches will cause the blockages. Fruits and veggies will remove the blockages. Okay, it's very important, very simple. What herbs? Okay, let's see what else we got. Got quite a few here to answer. Okay, guys, like I said, feel free to ask questions as I scroll up. If there's more down, I will answer it. Yeah. So why do I share this message? Well, like I said, it's helping somebody. It's helping somebody. This one, FYI, when I do this, I'm not doing this for like a bulk of people. I'm doing it for you, like you specifically watching this. So there's one person I'm looking for. If one person I can help, I've done my part. Okay, there's one person, because that one person will go and help other two people, and that two people will go and help another four, and it kind of like it expands from there. So my goal is always help one person at a time. So let's see what else. Okay. Because I'm new to this, so this is completely new to me. I don't know, close to social media, so I'd like to see the text, read the text for you. Okay, what food should you avoid? Avoid animal products and cooked starches. They are the worst because they produce a mucosic response in the body. So when the body is we have to eat foods that don't cause any mucosic response. The body has an inside of the body covering most of the organ tissues is mucus. And mucus is very thin, okay? It's very, 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 very thin, and it's usually clear, and it's there to protect the body. But if you eat foods that are cause the extra mucus production, this mucus will cover up the tissue, okay, and organ and glands, meaning that the more you eat the wrong foods, the thicker it will become, and this will eventually suffocate the cells, and you have health issues. That's why when you go on the fruits, we go on fruits because fruits will liquefy that mucus and help you get rid of that excess mucus. So you always want mucus on the organs, okay, on the parts that are protected, but you don't want excess because it becomes harder. It then turns yellow, then green, and then brown and black. When it hits black, then basically the tissue is melting. It's like it's gone really bad. Okay. Someone says fibromyalgia. Okay. Again, systemic acidosis is what it is. The body is highly acidic. Pain is trapped, and the pain can't get out. So the whole body is inflamed. Literally think about it like your body is internally in flames. You're inflamed. So how do you put out that flames? Is again, you use the fruits and the raw veggies. They are literally the quenchers of the flames. Okay, that's what gets you the kidneys healthy. You know, it's very simple, very simple. This is very simple. This is not complicated at all. Okay, this is like the reason why we've been trained to see things in a very complicated way, and this is because people that want to charge money for something, so they make it complicated to you. Because if you went to somebody and let's say they didn't have the knowledge of using fruits and herbs to help, why would you pay for it? I mean, it's fruits and herbs. I mean, how complicated is that? But if they use big words and big names and complicate matters for you, then now you are the one who is confused because you're scared, basically. But if you know that everything is systemic and everything starts with what we put inside our mouth and what we eat, then you can always correct it. You are in control. That's the whole point. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to show you that you're in control. Someone said Hashimoto's. Okay, again, the thyroid and any gland that goes off, okay, usually it's hyper state, doesn't matter what it is, it will fluctuate back and forth depending on the mucus and acids affecting it, okay, or stimulating or not stimulating it. But the always cause is always acids affecting the gland. So if you have a thyroid issue, the acids affecting the gland, you got to move the acid and the mucus on the gland. But bear in mind that it's not always the thyroid's issue. You check the pituitary gland because that controls the thyroid as well. Sometimes people have a thyroid issue, they don't need to fix the thyroid, you need to fix the pituitary gland. But you go and see somebody else who give you herbs for the thyroid or medication for the thyroid, but he didn't check the pituitary gland. So you're not actually solving anything, you're just putting a band-aid on the problem, okay? So it always no matter what issue you have, you always want to start to change your diet. That's the first step, a raw vegan diet, and preferably 100% fruit diet. And then you add the herbs. The herbs are always the basic herbs of the kidneys, adrenals, lymph system, stomach, and bowels. These are the basics. And then for thyroid, you say your thyroid is hypo, you would add thyroid herbs in there, like kelp, or bugleweed, depending on what kind of thyroid issue you have. So always address the core issue first. Then use extra herbs for the particular gland. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna take one more, and then I'm gonna call it. Let's see what we have here. So, what do you suggest to lose weight? Okay, if you want to lose weight and you have this person that had cancer and currently dealing with heart failure, these are all connected. So all connected again. Now, if you see it as a disease, okay, if you name it as a disease, then you have a very complicated issue to deal with. Of course, go see your doctor. Again, this is not for treating. This is for getting to the core of your issues so you can get healthier and better. Okay, but if you have all those three things connected, it's telling you immediately it's high acidosis, heart issue. The only heart issue, two ways it affects your heart. Number one, your nervous system is not working properly, so you're not getting messages for the valves to open properly, etc., or the right rate of the way your lungs are breathing, the heart rate, all due to adrenals. So you got to fix the adrenals first for that purpose. But most often, heart issues is lymphatic issue because you're putting lymph pressure on the organ, right? You're putting pressure on it some way, shape, or form. Remember I told you that health issues is caused by a block of energy flow. There's blood flow, lymph flow, and nerve flow. If any of these three are compromised, you have a health issue. So in case of the heart, you mentioned also in terms of you have tumors, it's a lymphatic issue, okay, adrenal issue, kidney issue. So losing weight, your adrenals are not working properly, your thyroid is not working properly, so you can't lose weight. So you see, it's always interconnected. The whole thing is always. What I'm good at is that I can see I can see what's connected and what's not connected. I can see what needs to be fixed. This is what the talent I have. Okay. Okay, most people, you have a thyroid issue, you go and they give you thyroid herbs. I don't see it that way. I've always addressed the core. Then I'll look at and see what's attached to the thyroid, what's affecting the thyroid, and very often I can see through the eyes. The eyes will tell me. Okay, the eye will show me what's weak and what's not. And the eyes never lie. So, okay, guys, I think I've done quite a bit. What about, I hear people saying it's not good acids. Garlic. Garlic is a fantastic herb. Okay, people. The problem with the internet is that there's so much information out there that there's every single thing, every single food out there, there's a negative to it. At least as far as the internet is concerned. But when you consume whole foods and veggies, remember you're not isolating everything. They work together. They understand each other, and they're able to work together in a way that's not negative. So garlic is fantastic. You take once in a while. I wouldn't take buckets of it, but I mean it's a fantastic herb because it has antimicrobial. Okay, so a garlic tincture, fantastic. It's one of the best ways of strengthening your immunity. Very powerful stuff. So anyone who says garlic is bad, like seriously, you know what I mean? There are people are talking about fruits of high oxalates. If you go on a high fruit diet, I don't care if you could be in Alaska, you'll get better. Okay, it's very simple. I don't understand why people always want to make things negative or always want to harm some idea because it's not in line with theirs. Okay, so you have nerve issues. Okay, neuropathy. If you have any nerve issues, again, remember I told you energy flow, blood flow, lymph flow, nerve flow. The only way your nerves will be compromised is because your lymph system is putting pressure on it. Okay, or your adrenals are not working properly. So if you have any kind of nerve issues, fix your adrenals, fix your lymph system, and fix your kidneys. It's very simple. Use herbs that have address the kidneys, adrenals, lymph system, but also use herbs to address the brain and nervous system. Okay, someone like gotu kola is very powerful. Ginkgo leaf is very powerful. Okay, you can use those. Okay, use them in combination always. Don't use them individually because number one, it's more expensive, and number two, they don't work together. It's not synergistic. Okay, when you combine the herbs together, you get a synergistic effect. Okay, let me see what next here. Someone says that type 2 diabetic. Type 2 diabetic is adrenals. You gotta fix your adrenals. Okay, you fix your adrenals, and remember the adrenals is what makes use of sugar metabolism. But so I will check the adrenals and I'll check the pituitary gland. That gland always has to be checked because it controls all the other endocrine glands. Okay, very important. Okay, I think someone asked the last question, how do you eliminate mucus? 100% fruits and herbs. Okay, mucus gets stagnant when you eat high acid foods, proteins, starches, processed foods, dairy products. The worst. It will stagnate your lymph system, which is mucus is part of the lymph system. Okay, so that just stagnate it, make it hard. Less fluidity. The lymph system is the only system that doesn't. It's not like the blood. Blood uses a heart pump and it moves. The lymph system, you have to do some light exercise, but more importantly, you have to eat the right foods because if the lymph system is not fluid, if your foods you're eating are not making the lymph system fluid or the mucus fluid, it will get stagnant. It will stick, and then the acids will be held in one place. And if these acids leach and affect the tissue, organ, and glands, then you have health issue. So the fruit is the best way of moving the mucus. That's why if you go on a lemon-only cleanse or a grape-only cleanse, it's one of the best ways of moving the mucus, cleansing excess mucus out of your body and getting the lymph system to work better and getting the kidneys to work better. So I would use all fruit diet, preferably like a a lemon-only diet or grape-only diet. Fantastic. Okay. So what's it? Sorry, you're in the subway. I know I'll do this more often. I told you I'm going to do this more often. So someone asked, can you make juice and store in the fridge? No. Don't store your fruits or fruit juices. You go and buy this expensive drink in the store. It's like $14 for freshly squeezed, cold pressed juices. Well, if it's older than a few hours, you've lost most of the nutrients in it. It's still better than having protein and starches. In other words, if I was outside and I was walking and I was hungry and I couldn't have my own fruits, I would use a cold pressed juice that's been sealed. But I'll make sure it's not pasteurized. And number two, it won't be my first choice because you're paying top dollar for juice that's basically water and sugar. Good sugar, mind you, but still water, okay? So, let me see. Okay, I think this is going to be it. I really enjoyed this. I'd love to do this all day. I could do this all day. Hey, hello from Toronto. I'm from Toronto as well. Okay, nice physique. Yeah, my physique, yeah. Again, it took a lot of hard work, and it's like a lot of hard work and years of build, okay? It's not easy at all. So those people who tell you that you can build muscle fairly easy, they're not telling the truth. It takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of suffering. And so you gotta pay the price. Hello from Israel. Hello from Canada. Nice to meet you. I'm so thankful you are watching here as well, taking the time. Okay, I appreciate all your time. And let me see. So how you doing? Okay, so let me see one more question. I say I want to end it, but and the question comes up. Let me see. Okay, I guess that's it for now. Oh, we made a turmeric and ginger yesterday, and it's in the fridge. Yeah, like I said, if you juice something, if you juice something and you already have it in the fridge, of course, drink it. I'm not saying it's the worst thing for you. I'm saying to you that preferably your juices should be fresh. Okay, it should be fresh. I mean, it just takes a few minutes. I understand you might be at work and it's not convenient. Then in that case, bottle it up. But to last the whole day. Don't store it for the next day and 3 days in advance. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. You're losing your money. It's not efficient, as effective as it should be. Okay. Okay. Well, good guys. Well, thank you so much again, and we'll call it short today. And like I said, I'll make more of these. And if you have any pressing question, just go to any of my posts, any of them, and you can ask the question. I'll do my best to help you. Okay. Like really, I enjoy this stuff, and my hope is that I can show you how to heal yourself. Not to have a book on the topic. Okay? It's called How to Heal Yourself, even when you say you can't. I mean, I love I love the actual title of it because I think it's true, isn't it? Right? How to heal yourself, even when they say you can't, because nobody has the right to tell you that you can't heal yourself. Nobody. The only person who can tell you that is the divine. If you don't believe in the divine, the nature, okay. They're the only ones who can tell you can't heal. But no other human being can tell you this. Not me, not anybody wearing a white coat can tell you this, because you can't. No one has a right to put a negative emotion in someone's head and say that no, you can't heal this. That's why I wrote the book. That's why I chose this title, How to Heal Yourself, even when you say you can't, because all this is in you. It's your power. It's no one else's power but yours. Okay, and then the sooner you take this. The sooner you take this into your hand, you realize the power of it. I know it's okay. We all have our weaknesses. We all like our cheat days. Eat the wrong foods. But if your diet is consistent in fruits and veggies, you are far better off. If something ever emergency happens, you want to fix something, then you go full force on 100% fruit diet and herbs, and you do very well, right? So always keep that in mind. Know that the fruits and veggies are the foods for mankind, because they're not obstructive and they don't harm you. Keto, please stay away from keto diet. Okay, like the keto diet and using alkaline water. These topics are very tricky. People get upset about them. When you say keto diet is bad for you, and they'll say, well, this doctor who has 5 million followers recommends it. That's really false thinking. Okay, just because big following is following it doesn't mean it's the right thing. The keto diet is an extension of the Atkins diet, and if you look at the history of it, it's really, really bad for you. But primarily, the reason why it's bad for you is because it's very acidic. It's high protein, high acidic. It will affect your joints. And if you look, Google negative effects of keto diet, you see quite a few of them. And remember that Google doesn't always show you the real truth about things, because it's towards the medical side. It's skewed towards the medical side. So it doesn't show you natural healing. It doesn't show you the honest truth about health, at least. And keto, I wouldn't recommend my worst enemy. Not that I have any enemies in that regard, but I wouldn't recommend my worst enemy to go on keto, okay? Because you will see some benefits initially, but the side effects will come and hit you so hard, then you'll be trapped, because it's much harder to get out of it than if you were not on the diet in the first place. If you do want to feel better, trust me, go on a high fruit diet and raw veggies. I mean, this is just logical. Like, think about it honestly. Even doctors will tell you, go on fruits and veggies. After you're sick, once they found you're sick, they'll tell you fruits and veggies. But before that, they'll tell you high protein diet. So why not do the right thing in the first place? Why not do the right thing to begin with? Feel fantastic by eating the foods that your body demands and wants. Okay, and that's not to insult anybody's diet or anything like that, but I'm trying to tell you from experience what's the best thing for you. Okay, and fruits and veggies are the way to go. You will not go wrong with this. Okay. And, no, again, don't try and convince people. Don't try and convince people of wrong and right. All you can do is show them your point of view and then walk away. okay? Because it takes two to argue, and it takes you never argue with a fool, okay? Because you become a fool as well, okay? It's one that is set in your mind. That's why you can never talk about politics, religion, because people are set in their minds. And same with diet. You don't ever want to change someone's mind because you won't win, and you will make an enemy, or at the very least, you frustrate somebody, okay? Yes, live by example. Exactly. That's what you said it perfectly. Live by example. Okay. Okay. High protein diet hitting the kidneys. Your high protein diet will hit your kidneys. Look at bodybuilders. I was a bodybuilder myself. Look at bodybuilders. You don't see. Look, Google bodybuilders' death. You see they live in their 40s, 50s, if not younger. And they blame it on different things. Obviously, they'll say cancer, whatever it is. But the key point is kidney failure. We will all die of kidney failure. What I mean I mean like people out there who get sick is kidney failure. Because if your immune system is weak, it's kidneys. If your liver is weak, it's kidneys. Because the kidneys is filtering out the metabolic waste, and if that waste can't get out to affect the weakest link, it could be kidneys, it could be the liver, it could be the pancreas. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay, it's always as the case. Okay. So I guess I'll end it here, and I love you guys, I really do. When I speak to this camera, I'm speaking to each individual by themselves, you, and only you. And I want to get a message across. 100% fruits and herbs always, okay? Always, this is how you fix things. And if you're not trying to heal a condition, then, at the very least, make it a high fruits and high veggie diet, okay? If you're trying to heal something, 100% fruits. Don't even touch the veggies, okay? Don't even touch the veggies. And use the herbs. Like herbs, these are not costs. These are investments in you. Okay, these are not like you have these herbs. They're there to help you. People go and buy Starbucks coffee, $6, $8, but they'll have a hard time spending on herbs. But the herbs they're your friends. They're there to protect you. They're like, it's frustrating because we're all conditioned this way. We like to save money here and there, but we don't put the emphasis on our health and our diet. And my hope is to kind of influence you in some way, shape, or form to make sure that you do the right thing, at least when the time is right, okay? So guys, thank you. So let me summarize it. I started this conversation about hair loss and why you need to change the diet to fix your hair, okay? Because remember, acidosis is the cause of hair loss. And I use the quick example that, my two brothers are losing their hair. They don't follow my diet, okay? So this to show you that you can't change everybody, even the family. They're probably the worst ones you can change, okay? They'll see the inspiration and they'll take a bit of tip here and there, but they'll not actually do all the work and they'll pay the price for it. But acidosis, okay, acid will burn it. It will burn it and it will fall out, okay? It's a matter of time. If you have good genes for your hair and scalp, this might not happen, but if you have remotely any kind of weak genes for the hair and scalp and you're on a high acid diet, you will lose your hair. The amount of people with hair loss, including the 20-year-olds out there, is phenomenal. You cannot tell me there's no correlation between the diet and the hair loss. You cannot tell me it's genetics either, because not everybody has genetic weakness in the hair and scalp. So you want to fix your hair, you gotta go 100% fruits or raw vegan diet at the very least. You gotta use herbs, and you gotta be consistent. It can take a little bit of time, okay, but to improve, and you get better, and you're gonna feel better, okay? Very, very simple. Well, again, thank you again for joining me on my program here, on my live, okay? I intend to do it more often, and from my heart to yours, I thank you again for watching, and please feel free and ask questions on my post, and also next time I go live, have questions for me. I'll be delighted to help you and answer those questions. Thank you, and have a good night.